All right, we are now joined by Sean McNeil, and we're going to begin the question and answer session with Sean. I'm going to start today with Cody Nespor. Cody, if you could please unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Sean, just what was it like playing against the zone with only 1 day of prep?
It was tough. These quick turnaround games like this are difficult to figure out and kind of adjust to, but that's the name of the game this time of year. Just figuring things out on the fly. Syracuse's zone, I think, bothered us a little more than we probably expected. We kind of struggled in the first half, didn't really get a lot of good looks, turning the ball over, things like that, and it ended up hurting us.
All right, our next question comes from Mike Kazaza. Mike, please unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Sean, the team's scoring and resilience this year when down has kind of been a hallmark. I'm just curious if that's maybe like the most disappointing thing here is that you can't extend that a little bit longer when that does seem to be a strength, and it nearly got you back and over the hump today.
Yeah, it's tough. Especially with we struggled there at the end of the year, lost 2 in a row. Kind of figured things out in the second half against Moorhead, and then kind of come out flat today. Not much energy. We look kind of confused out there, I thought. So yeah, it's definitely tough to go out like we did.
Next question is coming from Justin Jackson. Justin?
Hey, Sean. Coach was talking about the defensive switch in there. Once you guys had the lead and then, Taz hit the 3, and so it's tied. I think there's like 7 minutes left, and then Coach was talking about yelling to you guys not to switch off of Buddy, and it seemed like you guys were. Can you just kind of talk about that, communication and the heat of the moment like that?
Yeah, it's just what it comes down to, communication. We went to our point drop, kind of a matchup look, where we do kind of try to pass things off and switch here and there. So I think that it was just a lapse in communication and knowing what was going on.
As a reminder, if you have a question, please use the raise hand function to indicate that. We're going to turn now to Kevin Kinder. Kevin.
Sean, you mentioned the turnovers in the first half. A lot of them appeared to be unforced. Were those caused by like defenders at different angles or just different ways you were running the offense, running the hollow, things like that? What contributed there?
Yeah, I think that, like I said earlier, I think that their zone kind of shocked us a little bit. They got a ton of length, nothing that we could. There's just things that you can't really simulate, and their length bothered us. I thought we were trying to force things too quick, not letting things really develop, trying to force stuff, I thought, and ended up turning the ball over and stuff. But figured it out in the second half a little bit, made a run, took the lead there for, I don't know what it was, a minute or two. But it's tough.
Our next question comes from Ryan Fritz. Ryan, if you could please unmute and ask your question.
Hey, Sean, you guys battled back, from 14 down 3 different times in the first half. You take the lead on your 3 there with about 9 minutes to go, and then they go on that run after that. How hard is it to regather after using all that energy to get back in it the first time to try to take another run at it before the game was over?
Extremely. I thought that when we would, get over the hump there and took the lead, that we wouldn't look back. But they're a good team. Credit to them. They've got guys that can shoot and score the ball. Buddy obviously knows how to fill it up. So it's heartbreaking. When we fight, we were down whatever it was, 14 or 16. Cut it to 4 or 2 there for a while, and then finally get over the hump, and then they took it back. And I don't know if they ever looked back after they got the lead there, after I hit that 3. But yeah, it's extremely it's upsetting.
Our next question will be from Ethan Bach. Ethan, if you could please unmute and ask your question. Thank you.
Hey, Sean. So you've had a great improvement from last. Hey, Sean. You've had an improvement from last season to this season. Just as a reflection, what does Huggins mean to you? What does Hugs mean to you?
He's given me an opportunity that I'll never know how to repay him for. Yeah, he's a tough guy to play for. he gets on you more than anybody. More on me than anybody I've ever, had in my life. But I know that there's a good purpose behind it. It sucks because, more than anybody, I think that we all just wanted to go win it for him. He just goes past 900. I don't know. I'm forever thankful.
Our next question goes back to Cody Nesper. Cody, please unmute and ask your question.
Sean, yesterday, Coach Huggins said he didn't want you guys to try and shoot over the zone, but it seemed like that's what worked mostly in the second half with you and Deuce and Taz. Did you guys make an adjustment at halftime to focus more on shooting?
No, we didn't really make an adjustment to shoot more. Honestly, we went, into the locker room and tried to figure out ways to get the ball inside easier than what we were getting it in there before. But shots just started falling. So obviously, when you see a couple go in, you keep shooting. That's just what shooters do and people that score the ball. But their length just bothered us so much inside, I thought. But credit to them. I wish them the best.
All right, Sean, the last question today is going to come from Justin Jackson. Justin?
Hey, Sean, obviously kind of, moving forward, this whole season, obviously with COVID and everything was weird. You would have to think at some point you guys get back to some sort of normal. So kind of moving forward, how do you want to improve your game moving into next year? And then, what do you think, this memory of this tournament will help you guys, to get ready for next year? And how much different can next year be, I guess?
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of experience. I don't know if I think Gabe was the only person that has experienced, this tournament. So, we didn't go as far as we wanted to, and we didn't accomplish things that we, had set out to do. But I think this tournament, plays into a big role of experienced guys and that have been here and know what to expect and stuff. So as we go forward, obviously I think this will be good for us. You try to, after a loss, it's tough, but you just got to try to figure out positives and things you can take away. So that's what we're going to go do. Go back tomorrow, have a team meeting, and figure some things out here what we're going to do in the off season.
All right, thanks for joining us, Sean. Appreciate your time.